I would love to do the things Dame did. Fly private for 5 years straight. Buy 2 mansions in London. You got a mansion in London just for your nigga, and then a personal mansion in London for something else. I would love to have 2 lofts in Tribeca right around the corner for each other. $20,000 for this loft, $20,000 for that loft around the corner. So you got $40,000 a month for just lofts. Airfare, flying everywhere. You know, Dame, I would have loved to have the biggest mansion in Alpine, New Jersey. Dame is the only that I ever seen to this day. I'm talking about to this day, and I've been in a lot of places, and I could, like I said, maybe I haven't been in the right places. I've never seen a with a urinal in their house yet. When we seen that Dame owe $800,000 to a debt, or these people would get his third of Rockefeller, Mace was like, yo, nah, bro, come on, B, that's Dame, bro. Word to everything I love, he like, that's Dame. And he don't even, like I said, they don't have the best relation. He's like, nah, tell him, he's like, yo, you wanna go 5-5? We can't let this nigga go out like that. So I called Dame. I say, yo, Mace wanna help out. So he's like, we got $1 million. He's like, well, I don't know, cause young boy MBA called me up, he got $2 million. We like, all right, cool. Like, we just wanted to get you out the news for looking bad. So I guess the young boy MBA thing fell out. So Mace called back the next day. Yo, see what he wanna do. He like, yo, just wait on it. I might got another deal. So Mace like, yo, bro, he said, you got $1 million today in your account today. Hold on, I might got a deal for $6 million. I'm like, all right, cool. Dame waits 3 weeks to call back and says, yo, what's up? What's up, y'all wanna bust that move? So when I called Beth back, Beth like, nah, man, the deal's off. We ain't doing it, he waited 3 weeks. So I said, Dame, Mace ain't picking up. I just said like that, I said, I don't think he wanna do it. He tries to use reverse psychology on me and be like, oh, you gotta wait for that nigga to bust a move. Oh, you can't bust your own moves. I feel you. I feel you can't bust your own moves. No, I can't, Dame. I can't bust my own moves. I'm not feeding into that. No, I can't. I have 500,000. Mace had 500,000. And no, I don't have $1 million to give you for that, because the thing about it was this. Jay-Z offered him $1.5 million for the third before anybody. For the other third of Rockefeller, he got offered $1.5 million from Jay-Z or Biggs or whoever, or a combination. And he like, nah, I'm not selling to them niggas, fuck that. He didn't want them to have it. So you got 1.5 on the table, you got a guaranteed $1 million from me and Mace on the table, and then you gamble trying to get $6 million. You talking about Drake is calling you, all these other people that are supposed to call you never followed through, and the deal fell through.
Do you feel that you've changed since you got older in terms of how you interact with people?
I better. I would. Don't you think you've changed? You know, like we're supposed to evolve every day. I find some enlightenment every single day I evolve. I would hope, if I stay stagnant, you know, even business is supposed to grow 10% every year. Of course I've changed. I'm supposed to change. I was, when the cameras were on me 24/7, I was in my 20s. I was acting like I was in my 20s. You know, you people don't understand, like when you get money young, you're still young, but they expect you to act old. I'm not acting old. I was having fun with my money, and I still do.
Well, there's an interesting quote that I always like to kind of refresh myself with, and that is one of the greatest things about becoming a millionaire is not the money as much as the person you have to become to be a millionaire.
I mean, I was a millionaire when I was a teenager, so it was too easy for me, I think. You know what I mean? It wasn't even an issue, a millionaire. I've been a millionaire to myself since I was 15. I want to be a billionaire. I'm not going to hold $1 billion. I'm going to spend it, you know, but I want to make it. You know, the things that people say that I'm doing in Flamboyant are employing people. Me and Cam, like I got this restaurant the other day in Dumbo called The Dish, and Cam came to check it, you know, and we were like, yo, let's just do this shit together. Pause, cause we could, cause we friends. Cause we could just have a restaurant and be from Harlem and, you know, make money together for years, never having to conform and be independent, and just get a restaurant and show the world that, you know, culturally we can stick together and have fun for years. You know what I mean? And we don't have to make money off each other just to fucking laugh. You know, I'm not around people because they can make me money. I make money off the people I'm around because I like being around them, and we monetize the experience. You know, also friendship is important. Like, look at the friendship that's happened between us, the whole movement for the last 20 years. We've been kicking it as friends, laughing at everybody for 20 years straight. 10 years before y'all even saw us in the camera, we was kicking it and having fun. All of us. I knew Jim, I knew Cam, I knew Dookie. Jim, Cam and I in the dash part of it, we're talking about bloodshed. Oh my God, I forgot about so many things that happened before the cameras were on us. 20 years later, we having just as much fun, but we doing it in a different way. But it's the same ideals. We still laugh at the same shit. We still know everything that's going on the concrete because our friends are still there. We still laugh. And I see a lot of people not laughing and not having fun. And I don't consider that success. You know what I mean? I consider, and then, you know, my friends the best out. We talk every day. There's no money involved. We just kicking it. Like all of that, like that's what needs to be seen. And that's what you could also see on the television network.
How much money would it take to make Dame Dash comfortable?
If someone gave me $20 million and all my taxes and I have no debt or anything like that, you know, I would be concerned, but I wouldn't be unhappy. You know what I'm saying? But I would be like, I got to keep working. And if I got 20 million and I'm trying to do things, I know probably half of that would probably go to business. And then the other 10 would be buying some I shouldn't be buying. And then, you know, the expense of maintaining the things you buy is what kills you. It's not the purchase, it's the maintaining of the purchase. Like a mortgage, or you buy a jet or a yacht, like having more than one house. It's like the more you buy, the more you got to take care of.
Right, the more property taxes, insurance.
You know, keeping gas on in places that are cold, cars in every spot, furniture, silverware. And a house is a business within itself. It's always breaking. There's always something wrong with a big ass building. The pool is like a big ass money suck.
Right? And when I do have it, y'all asking me about other that I did, you know, 20 years ago.
So you got it right now?
No, I don't. I got the movies on the street. I'm never gonna have it because as soon as I get it, it goes on the street. I don't put up money. Saving money's for suckers to me. I have so much confidence in me that I flip. And 10 years later, and 15 years later, and 20 years later, I'm still a boss, and you still got a job. Now, wait, maybe you might want to break the cycle. Because what's gonna happen now? Your kid gonna grow up wanting to be like who? His dad. And what his dad got?
An honorable man.
What does his dad have?
What do you mean?
Money in the bank.
Stop. He's not talking to you. What does his dad have? A job.
Everything.
Your dad, you're not listening to me. Your father. Wait, listen to me.
I'm listening.
Answer. You know.
I try to answer your question.
But you're not answering my question. You saying what you want. You have a job, so your son's gonna want a job. He's gonna think because his daddy has a job, he should have a job. Case in point. I don't have a job. My son Boogie doesn't have a job.
Right.
That's all. I hustle for my kids. I don't want my kids to ever want to have a job. I went to jail. The last time I was behind, it was $1 million. I paid it. That sounds broke to you? If all my children, and I pay their colleges up front, they don't have debt, meaning they don't have to go on, that sounds broke to you? Every one of my baby mothers has 2 or 3 houses. That sounds broke to you? It's not about me. If you Google her family, or certain people I know, I'll Google them, they have no money. I Google the family office, $10 billion. Rich people don't put anything in their name. But you don't know that. You don't know that. And I feel sorry for you because you don't get to see the daylight. You guys, you don't. You missed your whole life.
We don't have anything on our name.
So then
I have a question about the book deal with Simon & Schuster.
Let me finish. Yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What made you sign a book deal with Simon & Schuster as opposed to publishing independently?
Again, I've had $20 million, 30 of taxes, but they don't bother me because to have $30 million means you made a lot. So in order to pay it back, I can't get a job to pay it back. I got to keep investing until I can pay it back. Nothing could be in my name. They put liens on all my accounts. So that's why when they said there's nothing in your account, I don't have an account. How could I open one? They liened it. Like rich people or rich families, they don't put anything in their name. They build their family office. So I've been building my family office. I have no assets, but my family, that's all I care about. You know, that guy, Chris Brown, has been suing me. And I was going to make a bunch of very major family.
People listen, he's not talking about the artist and the singer Chris Brown.
Right.
Because people will think that. But
and I didn't mind you interrupting me to do that.
I apologize, but I wanted to clear things up.
I appreciate that. So every time I was launching something with my family office, he sent a letter saying that I'd owe the money, but it was my family office. But it muddies the
the waters. So if you have a contract, especially you working here, and somebody sent a bum letter, as soon as it's a lawyer, it shuts down. It muddies the waters. And I was about to make some major announcements. You want to hear one?
Sure.
I'm now the chairman of Revolt. That's power with no debt. And you're calling me broke because I have no debt. And you're telling me someone that gets $180 million loan is rich. You guys are dumb.
A billionaire is a
Dumb.
billionaire. It doesn't matter.
No, how do you know he's a billionaire? How? Not him, anybody. How could you listen?
You said
wait, time out, stop for a second.
For $180 million.
That you call a billionaire. I said
You said a billionaire.
billionaires don't get loans. They have credit lines. I said
That's what you said.
Listen. I said the people that you think are billionaires. That's what I said.
How much money did he give you for that first deal?
I got $1 million.
Cash, after taxes.
The only person that pointed out that $1 million was no money was Damon Dash, and he has no money now. If I only felt that, because he said, "Oh, that ain't no money. Like after you get you a watch, a chain, and you look out for the homies, and you do this, then it's nothing." Right? And I was like, "Nigga, I'm from 134th Street. $1 million is a lot of money.
Right.
I think I hit the lotto.
Right.
Are you gonna say it's no money? Like and I just never forgot that because of how it felt.
Was that the only offer you got? Was any other labels offered you?
Let me tell you something. This may be one of the realest things Camron has ever said about Dame Dash. It does not sound like hate or some fresh beef. It sounds like hard truth coming from a place of real love. Cam broke it down like only someone from Dame's actual circle could. This is not an outsider throwing cheap shots. This is a man who watched Dame at his highest point, flying private for 5 years straight, buying 2 mansions in London like it was regular, and even putting urinals inside the crib like the place was a nightclub. Cam's message was simple. If you're gonna live like that, you gotta keep hustling like that. You can't spend like a billionaire and expect to chill like a monk. What really stands out is the feeling behind Cam's words. Even through the slick jokes and little jabs, you can hear that he still has love for Dame Dash. Cam made it clear that he will not let people disrespect Dame, but he also refuses to act like Dame has not created some of his own problems. Cam is not trying to erase Dame's legacy, not even close. If anything, he is reminding people that Dame Dash is a genius, but even a genius can make bad calls. When the hustle slows and those $100 million moves stop coming, reality starts banging and the pressure gets hard to ignore. So no, Cam did not put Dame on blast just to clown him. He spoke up because real love means telling somebody the truth, even when it cuts deep. This is not about tearing Dame down or denying his wins. It is about keeping the story honest and saying what others are scared to say.
Yeah, listen, man, I seen that, man, and Dame's my big bro. I love Dame, man. You know, I love that. I cook food, man. And let's see how to put this, right? You can't. So Dame, you know what's crazy? Because the was interviewing him, didn't even say my name. Dame threw my name in it. He was like Jay-Z, Kevin Hart, Kanye, Rachel Roy, Camron. I was like, damn. I never had 100 million at one time, you know what I'm saying, or 200 or whatever. And Dame know this more than anybody else. You can't stop hustling. All them people Dame put on that he named, it wasn't like they got a chunk of money and stopped. Everybody kept hustling. They kept going. You did put Kevin Hart in his first movie. I was actually in that movie with Kevin Hart, Paper Soldiers. And you have to be thankful for the opportunity. But did Kevin Hart keep going on and doing a bunch of other? Yeah, he wouldn't be Kevin Hart just from being Kevin Hart from Paper Soldiers. It ain't like you know Kevin Hart from Paper Soldiers and be like, yeah, he owed Dame. Like the movie, it wasn't Avatar. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Blair Witch. But you did give him an opportunity. I understand that. But after the opportunity, it's about keep going hustling. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just using him as one example. But when Dame put my name in it, I'm like, damn, bro. Me and Dame, we be going through these little speak and don't speak. But one thing for sure, I love that nigga, and I don't let niggas talk about Dame around me anyway. But you know, sometimes me and him go through this little thing to where So the last time me and Dame spoke, he called me and he like, yo, you down with the Pap Pap Club? And I'm like, what are you talking about, Dame? Now I seen you with 50. You came in and padded your pockets. What's up with that? I said, pardon me. I said, it wasn't nothing. It was all good. He said, nah, Cam, you can't be down with the Pap Pap Club. That's a Pap Pap. I was just laughing. I said, this nigga Dame is crazy. So he says, yo, you mind if I talk about it? Because me and 50 going through something. I said, I don't care, do whatever you want to do. So he ends up talking about it a couple weeks later. And the nigga says, yo, Cam letting niggas come up and smack him on the ass. See, it always goes too far. You didn't tell me that on the phone because I would not okay for you to say that niggas is coming up smacking me on the ass because nobody's coming up smacking me on the ass. So then I was like, see, this is, what are we doing here? What are we doing? So then I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a little freestyle I shot a video for, and I was like, it's real disappointing when your OG turns Snaggletooth. In the song, and I had him in the video with his situation. I said, I can't even, I love the nigga too much. I can't even put this out. I felt bad after I shot it. But he's on the internet telling niggas, what you do, this is exact words, what you do when a big strong nigga come smack you in the ass. And I'm like, yo, you violating, bro. Your internet violating, B. So I said, I couldn't even put the video out. I said, I'm not doing it. And so he has the movie Honor Up coming out on BET. So he calling niggas like, yo, she just got on the internet saying niggas smacking me on the cheeks, pause. I'm like, yo, I ain't posting, bro. But the thing that got me more confused is because the week before that, prior to him being on BET, he always said he don't need no major TV sponsor, nothing of this and nothing of that. And he do everything on his own. And niggas who go to the network, that's not independent. I'm independent, this, that, and third. Now you calling it talking about post BET. It goes against what you talking about for me. And I know he'll have an answer to this when he talks. Well, this is a particular so-and-so. You know, Dame is very smart and has a high vocabulary, start using words to confuse you. You know, Dame taught me what the word fiduciary means, which y'all probably don't even know what fiduciary means. But Dame is very articulate, very smart. But I don't care. You're independent or you're not. That's the point. Back to the him not having money thing. He shouldn't have to work for anything. Look, yeah, my bad. But like with Dame, I would love to do the things Dame did. Fly private for 5 years straight. Buy 2 mansions in London. You got a mansion in London just for your niggas and then a personal mansion in London for something else or renting them or whatever. You just got mansions in London. We not even from London. We just going to fucking London, hanging out, not saying, I put on my artists or really, more Jim and Jewels, but we was all Dipset, SAS. Just out in London spending money. I would love to have 2 lofts in Tribeca right around the corner for each other. $20,000 for this loft, $20,000 for that loft around the corner. So you got $40,000 a month for just lofts. Airfare, flying everywhere. Dame, I would have loved to have the biggest mansion in Alpine, New Jersey. Dame is the only nigga that I ever seen to this day. I'm talking about to this day, and I've been in a lot of places, and like I said, maybe I haven't been in the right places. I've never seen a nigga with a urinal in their house yet. Dame is the only nigga I see where you go to his house and he got the stand-up shit in the men's room. He got a urinal in his house, in the movie room, a urinal. You go to Dame house, he got a crib in Malibu. Yo, these walls are made out of museum walls, right? This is the same shit they use in the museum. This ain't regular house walls. They make museums out. This is museum walls and shit. Bro, if you live like that, you gotta keep hustling. You can't buy all that shit you bought. And I'm being nice, I'm not even naming half of it. You can't buy all that shit and spend all that money and then be like, I shouldn't have to work anymore. I ain't have half the shit I just named. I ain't have no 2 lofts in Soho. I ain't have no 2 mansions in London. I ain't fly private every day for 6, 7, 8, 9 years. I ain't had no damn urinal. This all the shit you was spending your money on. I'm just good budgeting money, thank God. And thank God I keep coming up with different hustles to do this. Now, did Dame give me my opportunity to get back on my feet? Absolutely. Absolutely. I may not be here if it wasn't for Dame, but not because of the initial favor he did for me. He signed me to Rockefeller, and I took off and I kept doing other things and other things and other things. I'm not eating off the Rockefeller money no more. Thirdly, and Dame would testify, when I was getting it and I was signing Dame, I would take Dame briefcases of money. Briefcases like the mob, nigga. Like, you show up with your man the briefcase and give the nigga briefcase, opening money in it. Couple times, brought Dame briefcases of money when I first started getting real money at Rockefeller. So when he be like, niggas don't do this and that, no, bro, how long niggas supposed to do? You cannot just stop hustling and be like, the niggas who up, you just be like, I shouldn't have to work no more. Dame know this better than anybody. Until you hit that hustle, that one lick, pause, that one lick, you gotta keep hustling. And the thing about it is, me personally, Dame lives at a higher echelon, if that's the right word I'm using, than the rest of us. I said, even the best house I live in, me and Dame got to an argument one time. I said, yo, we was going back and forth about some shit. Oh yeah, it was about Kanye house. He said, yeah, me and this nigga going back and forth. He's like, yeah, I just left Kanye house. He got horse shit, you got dog shit in your house. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, what's this about? Yeah, I'm just saying you ain't getting it like that. I'm like, dang, where are we going with this? He's talking about, I'm just saying, nigga, it took me 35 minutes from the driveway to get up to his house. I said, oh, dang, all right, no problem. He said, you live in a little house. I said, Dave, you never been to all my houses. I said, my crib, at that time I had a crib in Florida. I won't say what part or whatever. I said, Dave, my crib in Florida is 9,000 square feet. Oh, that's still little. That's a little house. 9,000 square, okay. We going back and forth. Now we in a full-fledged argument. Fuck out of here, you ain't doing this, doing that. I said, Dave, I own all my houses. You don't own any of your houses. He said, yeah, who want to own a house in a recession? I said, that's the time to own them. I lose the argument every time. The best way to beat Dame is on a text. You're not going to beat him verbally. So, but to answer your question, I love Dame. That's my bro. And whatever I can do for him, I absolutely will. But all this shit, you shouldn't have to work no more. And then nigga wasn't even thinking about me. Throw my name in, and it's kind of crazy. But you spend crazy. You spend crazy, and you talk crazy to people too. I'm just a nigga who knows you, so I could tolerate some of your verbal abuse, even though you don't consider it verbal abuse. Yo, nah. Yo, imagine sitting, you just walking nigga out and say, yo, watch your shoulders, because that's museum wall right there. That ain't apartment wall or sheetrock wall or whatever wall. Nigga says museum wall. I tell Dame talks crazy. Last thing, and I'm just saying, it's his spending. Dame would be set for life if he knew how to manage his money. He made more than enough money not to work no more. But he want to keep hustling, and I dig it. It's in him, pause. That's just something he want to do. But when it's not working out, you can't get mad at other people. I tell people all the time, Dame is like Dr. Brown from Back to the Future. Because people say Dame is crazy, and God bless the dead. Irv Gotti came to my crib one time, and he's saying, yo, man, you the only one who could talk to Dame, bro. You know what you should do? Have a talk with him. He said, because when he's up and he's acting crazy, which he's not acting, he looks like a genius. But when he's down and he's talking like this, he looks crazy. You should have a talk with him. And I told Irv Gotti, I say, yo, the problem with this, it's not a problem, but this is Dame. He's Dr. Brown from Back to the Future. And what I mean when I say that is that, you know a nigga who be telling you, yo, I got a time machine. You be like, this nigga's crazy. But he fuck around and have a time machine.
Camron sounded like a little brother watching his big bro fall from the top and fight to find his footing again. Dame gave Cam a major opportunity, and Cam still respects that. But his message is clear. Don't confuse making money with keeping money. Getting rich is one battle. Staying rich is where things get serious. And that is where Cam's point gets even deeper. From his perspective, Dame was not struggling because he lacked talent or vision. The problem was that the lifestyle kept moving like the money would never slow down, and that can put anybody in a dangerous spot. Cam watched Dame build an image around power, luxury, and never needing anybody. Private flights, expensive homes, big business moves, that was the standard. But once you create that kind of life, the bills do not care whether the spotlight is still shining. They keep coming, and that pressure can flip the whole situation fast. What makes Cam's words hit is that he is not speaking from jealousy. He already benefited from Dame's confidence, connections, and fearless mindset. He knows exactly what Dame brought to the table, but he also understands that pride can make it hard to adjust when the game changes. Cam is basically saying that real bosses know when to switch the plan. You cannot keep spending like yesterday when today's money looks completely different. That is why this conversation feels bigger than just Dame Dash and Camron. It is really about what happens when somebody builds a larger-than-life image and then has to face a different chapter. The same habits that made you look unstoppable can start working against you when the money slows down. Cam knows Dame always moved with confidence, and that confidence helped open doors. But confidence can turn into stubbornness when you refuse to change the play. Sometimes the smartest move is not proving you can still live the same way. Sometimes the smartest move is cutting back, rebuilding, and moving quieter. That does not erase Dame's impact at all. He still helped shape major careers, pushed ownership, and showed artists they could think like bosses. Cam is not denying any of that. He is just saying respect the legacy, but do not ignore the mistakes. You can salute what somebody built and still admit they made choices that put them in a rough position. Because while Dame Dash was living like a king, that castle was not guaranteed to stand forever. You cannot fly private, buy million-dollar homes, put urinals in the crib, and act shocked when life tells you to get back on the grind. What stands out is that Cam did not sound angry about Dame talking slick. He sounded hurt that his name got dragged into the conversation. Cam's point was, bro, why am I even part of this? He is working, making moves, and finding ways to win. That Rockefeller door created opportunities, but Cam had to walk through it and build something. That is the lesson. An opportunity can change your life, but only if you keep pushing after the door opens. Respect your OGs, but never be scared to call out the flaws. Sometimes the realest love is telling the truth before things fall apart. Salute to Cam and Dame Dash. Hopefully they can meet somewhere in the middle. Drop your take in the comments. Did Cam keep it real, or did he go too far? Like the video, subscribe to Dripzine, and stay locked in for hip-hop stories. Peace.